Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video here on Rugby League Live 4. And in this video today, we have created a 99 overall fullback. He is the max rating in every single position, well, statistic category. He is a fullback and we're going to simulate his career as we attempt to basically create the undisputed GOAT of Rugby League. So let me introduce you to Brad Cage. He's 188 centimeters tall, 105 kilos, the current fullback for the West Tigers. We're going to be controlling his career over the first 10 seasons, seeing his stats, seeing what he wins, and seeing if he can become the greatest rugby league player of all time. But guys, you have been consistently hitting 30 likes every single video as of late, so let's hit that again. And subscribe if you are new. You can always change your mind later, but it's time to see how well Brad Cage does in this simulation. So as you can see, for the moment, he has 0 stats. We're going to play his rookie game, have a bit of fun with him, try and give him the best debut of all time, which sets him on a journey. Simulate the 10th season. Let's see how Brad Cage goes, how many premierships he wins, how many State of Origin series he wins, how many World Cups he wins, 70 Dally M's he can win. We're going to basically try and create the best rugby league player of all time. And for those wondering, I can't see where it actually is, but he will represent New South Wales and he is Australian from the country. But yeah, we're on the Tigers for now. We'll see if we want to stay in the NRL. We can switch teams. We can also see if we want to go to England. So it's all about seeing where Brad Cage goes. Now, why did I choose Brad Cage? Because he was in a movie I saw recently and it's a pretty bloody cool name. With a name like Brad Cage, you cannot fail. And yeah, I gave him bright red hair. Because why not? Everyone's dyeing their hair these days. But let's see how he goes. We'll simulate to the Tigers round 1 game, play his debut, and hopefully set him on a career to the promised land. So for his first game, we're going to be playing the South Sydney Rabbitohs, meaning Cage's debut is going to be up against Latrell Mitchell. Rabbitohs, this is the 2022 roster, so this is their first game without Adam Reynolds coming off that grand final loss. Let's see if we can spoil the start of their new era and see if we can get a dub. And look at that, Brad Cage is already the captain. They're going to go to Cam Murray. He might be able to put the kick in. They're going to go to Nofaluma though. So Brad Cage yet to make his first touch, but he might do so right here, folks. Adam Dewey's going to give it to him on the chest. And here he goes, Brad Cage, first touch. He's not as fast as I'd like him to be. A bit of sideways cheese doesn't hurt though, and he makes a pretty good, decent run. He's trying to get the quick play of the ball, but sir, let him play it. Let him play the football. Anyway, let's see, we got other players to use too. Adam Dewey, I love you. He takes it to the line, goes short though, that's not the best play. This is all about giving it to Brad Cage. You know what, let's do some Jared Hayne type stuff. Chip and chase already. Goes over the top. He's kicked it too far for himself. He's too fast. And he's got too good of a kick. That might be a problem. Hastings, he's going to put the bomb up. Tommy Talau's under it. Try and get it back to Cage, but we can't. First set from Cage. Looks 7 out of 10. Could have definitely handled that chip better, but looked dangerous both times he touched the football. And here we go, his first defensive challenge. Johnson tries to stand him up. But that's a beautiful shot from the Cage Man. The Caveman? The Cage Man. Try and give him a nickname. What's a good nickname for him? Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing the start of a national hero. Twal hooks up with Cage. Cage beats him. He gets around Latrell too. He got around Tough and Latrell. Good stuff from the young fella early. Ugh. Forget we are playing the Tigers, but Cage is like, bruz, am I going to have to carry this team just like Tedesco did a couple of years ago? A bit of sideways cheese from Cage. He gets around. Flick pass away. Oh, he's a beast. He's a beast, ladies and gentlemen. We'll try and find him again. Nah, he's overran it. Try and get the ball back to him. There we go. Here we go. Bit of sideways cheese. Gets around. Straight around. Oh, I thought I was going to try and fend off Latrell. That would have been pretty cool. Last tackle here. We'll go to Dewey. Cage is in there, but we still can try and score. He puts the grabber kick in. Big Burgess is going to take it. And Brad Cage, he's doing everything right, just cannot find a way to get us a 4-pointer. Cage's first kick return. Here's plenty of space. We're just going to pick one of the big boys out. We were able to break that tackle, but unfortunately couldn't go anywhere. But Cage looks very good. Not the best debut of all time, but he looks good so far. Cage gets around the inside ball. Chip and chase. It's hit the crossbar. Dane Laurie scored on the utility coming off the bench. I do not know if that counts as a try assist, but Brad Cage broke the tackle in the middle, went for the chip and chase. He's so good he was able to complete a crossbar challenge in an NRL game in his debut, and he's pretty much sets up a try for Dane Laurie, who got his spot taken despite being the Tigers' second best player. But lol, no offense, Laurie, but you know, yeah. Go out the back to Cage. Gets around one, and he's got a bloody neck sprain. Really knew I should have given him a rest, but oh well. He's injured now. We may as well play on. That's a shame, really. That's a shame. But he's still 99 overall. We give it to him. Chip and chase, and with a neck sprain, he scores. And we all know Brad Cage is a lover for a chip and chase. That's 3 on his debut. Madge must hate a player like this. But Madge, I've literally gifted you the greatest player of all time. Yes, it was a cheesy way to score a try, but he's bloody injured, guys. Give a break, alright? Hopefully he's not out for too long, because we want to see how he goes in his rookie season. But we move on. We move on without him. Cage puts himself in dummy half, even with a cheeky little neck sprain. Oh, wow. That injury has done wonders to him, and he just got poleaxed. Oh, well, I think we've seen the best of Brad Cage, but we move on. Leilua down the sideline. Dropped to cold. Oh, well. Coming on. Cage is at first receiver. We'll see what he can do. He goes wide to Joey Leilua, who's still at the Tigers. Don't ask. Don't ask. As now the other Leilua charges towards the line. Cage is on the left again. Screaming for it. Gets smashed. And now they're laying all over him because of legend difficulty. This game just doesn't let you do anything. And now Dewey's there. He's going to try and put a crossfield kick in. It's hit the upright. And it's gone dead. Wow. This has been a pretty boring game. Cage. Cage is going to bulldoze over 2 forwards and score his second try of the game with an neck sprain. He's basically, well, considering he's 99 everywhere, he could pretty much play in the front row if he wanted to. So that's not surprising at all. Last play of Cage's debut. They're going to go to, I think that's tough. Put the bomb up. We're going to defuse this. No, we lose it, but we're going to pick up an 18-0 win over the Rabbitohs. Brad Cage did get man of the match. 126 run meters, 0 missed tackles as well. 9 line breaks. Put 2 kicks in apparently. Got a try assist as well as an error. But 2 tries. What a debut. Now that the gameplay part's over, it's time to see how Brad Cage does over his 10-year career. So coming up to the final game of the season, Cage has carried the West Tigers to a top 4 spot. And perhaps even more impressive was the fact he actually played State of Origin and he was the starter here. And New South Wales did pick up a clean sweep. Unfortunately though, it doesn't look like he got man of the match in any of the games, but a great way to start your career, an Origin sweep. Now, can we hold on to the top 4 spot? We pick up the victory that all but confirms that. We're going to finish 3rd this season. Brad Cage's first season ends with a top 4 finish. He pretty much played every game this year, 1,500 run meters, but more importantly, 6 tries and 7 try assists, as well as 8 conversions. So he must have taken over the kicking duties at one point. Impressive stats. Now we are playing on, I think, 7-minute halves. I'll actually just double check that real quick. You know what? For the purposes to make it a bit more realistic, I will put it on 10 minutes just to make, like, you know, the stats a bit more realistic. But yeah, they won't change the first season ones. Great numbers though, but I guess the real measure of how well he did is the Dally M Awards. And unfortunately, Brad Cage couldn't make it. No Tigers players featured in the Team of the Year. But honestly, taking your team to the top 4 is very impressive. We weren't able to win week 1. Hopefully we don't get swept. We do. So, Brad Cage's first season comes to an end. Straight sets, final exits, but he was able to take the Tigers back to finals footy for the first time in forever. And now we got the World Cup. Brad Cage in the World Cup. And look at that, starting fullback for Australia already. We'll see how far we can go in this World Cup. And I think, no, they just lost to Tonga. So honestly, that's pretty disappointing for Brad. And they lost in the semis to Tonga, who ended up losing to England in the World Cup final. So that is the end of Brad Cage's first season. Wow. An interesting one. Anyway, here are some of the transfers, which is going to be something to keep an eye on. Wow. Some of this stuff is crazy. Some of this is crazy. But we won't focus on this too much. We're just focusing on Brad Cage. And now it's our final year at the Tigers. We'll see how he does in his second season. So a bit of a reality check in season number 2. As you can see, Brad Cage has gone out of his way to re-sign with the West Tigers without our consent. And considering they finished 13th, that ain't probably the best decision. But that'll take us into season 4. We'll see if we can bring some success to the West Tigers. But no finals footy for us this year. We did play in another State of Origin series. So we'll go to check that out, and would you look at that? Another clean sweep. So Brad Cage is 6-0 in his Origin career. Unfortunately though, not much happened. Still hasn't cracked the Dally M or the Team of the Year. Patrick Herbert got into that. But anyway, Manly win the comp in the postseason tournament in the Four Nations. We'll simulate this, see how they go. And in the finals, Australia won. So Brad Cage picks up his first international trophy as well. We'll check out some more of these player transfers. Oh my God. These are just crazy. Reece Walsh is going to Melbourne. So the Melbourne have chosen Walsh over Pappenhausen. Crazy stuff. Anyway, it's time to go into season 3 of Brad Cage's career. Yet to pick up any sort of silverware outside of the 2 Origin victories. Let's see if we can get some success at the Tigers and the Dally M Awards. So here are Cage's stats for season 3. 6 tries, 3 try assists. He's honestly not doing amazingly, but his tackle breaks are up. He's getting over 1 a game and almost 1 line break a game. He's also putting a few kicks now, which is great to see. So he looks like to be more of a run first, pass second fullback. But as for team success, we finished 5th. We're back into the finals with this Tigers team. As for State of Origin, we unfortunately pick up our first series loss with Brad Cage. We're 1-2. We're on a 7-game win streak in New South Wales, but lost the last 2 games of this series. So, no silverware so far, but has he picked up a Dally M? No. The Knights players dominate that. Still hasn't even appeared in the top 10 for contenders for Player of the Year so far. Has Brad Cage. But in the final series, it looks like he's going to pick up his first finals win. And we're marching into the prelims. Brad Cage is in his first grand final and he picks up his first premiership. Brad Cage is a 2-time Origin winner and has brought the Tigers their 2nd ever premiership. Joey Leloa got the Clive Churchill medal. But the West Tigers are back on top and Brad Cage has brought an NRL premiership back to Balmain or Western Suburbs, depending on which side of the merger club you prefer. Great to see from Cage, an international tournament victory, 2 Origins, and now an NRL premiership to his name. A couple individual season awards are needed though, but is doing his part for the team. 1 more season at the Tigers, but I promise you, next time we'll actually see what we can do. We were also able to pick up another international trophy, 5 cups for Brad Cage so far, 2 premiership, and then 2 trophies for Australia and 2 for New South Wales. Let's get straight into the next season, and oh my god, player transfers continue to get even crazier, and Angus Crichton is joining us at the Tigers, and so is Josh Drinkwater. We have a 95 rated halfback at the club. So our second free agency period, it's time to check what our options are. So we can stay at the Tigers for 1 more year, but we have a chance to go somewhere else. And honestly, Tigers are offering us not even the most money. Our best chance is at the Sharks right now. We could also go in front of Tom Trbojevic at Manly. So, honestly, I'm going to check what some of these teams are. Sharks are dead last. Manly is second last. Got no interest in staying with them. The Warriors, though, we could do it. Roger never did. But unfortunately, they're only in 8th position. But honestly, I reckon we're going to stay at the Tigers for 1 more year. And we'll pick all of this up again in, 2021. We're that far into this, folks. And that's how long this game's been out. So our title defense didn't actually go that well. We finished in 11th position. Couldn't win the Anzac Test. We got the Shield back with another sweep. Cage has only lost 2 Origin games. He is beasting and feasting. And in the Four Nations, unfortunately, we weren't able to add to our international trophy collection. But Cage is definitely a player of the future. No Dally M awards again, though. But we'll look at his season stats. And look, they honestly haven't been too impressive, to be honest. Cage, in this first initial parts of his career, is bringing a lot of team success, but not a lot of individual success. As Ponga goes to the Rabbitohs, Cody Walker goes to the Eels, and Jake Trbojevic goes to the Cowboys. God, this game's crazy. So it's time to go back into the contract market. And honestly, we only have offers from the Drag. Oh, hang on. The Doggies are there and the Panthers are there too. But they're both in the dumps. Doggies, man, you're back on the spoon. That's sad to see. I reckon we're just going to go for another year at the Tigers, to be honest. I reckon a one-club player is the way we're going to go. And honestly, I think I'm just going to let the CPU take control of the contract negotiations. I don't want to get involved too much in Brad Cage's career, so we're going to let him pick. We'll see if he becomes a one-club player or not, because I don't have too much of a say in this thing. But we've got to be $1 million player soon. We have to be. We haven't picked up a Dally M award, though, at all yet, and that is something we need. Otherwise, you can't call him the GOAT if he never wins a Dally M, you know? Tigers back into the top 4. It's make finals, miss out on finals, make finals, miss out on finals. But back in the finals, in the top 4. Still nothing for Brad Cage in the Dally M Awards. That is disappointing, but it's time to check out his stats for the season. Hopefully, he can put a few more on. But again, it's just... he's 99 rated. He's just been consistently great, I think it's fair to say, but just not seeing the world on fire. He's Mr. Consistent at this point. He's honestly basically Clinton Gutherson, but it's got time to simulate to the end of the year, see how we did in Origin, see how we did in the NRL, see how we did in the international tournament. We lost the grand final, so he's still got the 1 premiership, but we make another GF. That's good for the legacy. We lose another Origin series. And as for... I think we're back in a World Cup, are we? We are. Still no World Cup either. Tonga, England have a rematch. So they're the international teams to beat. As Tedesco goes to the Dragons. Tommy Turbo's off to the Panthers. Munster joins the Roosters. Bruh, this is a madness. Sean Johnson's retiring. That's how far into this thing we are. So, back to that trend. We miss out on finals as Cage signs yet another 1-year deal. No Dally M victory for him though. Cowboys and Doggies seem to dominate that, as some of these player transfers are going insane. No individual awards, still only the 1 comp. As for State of Origin though, we get swept. So I think Brad's now 3-3 in Origin Series. Honestly, I expected a lot more from Brad Cage in this little series, in this little simulation. Dragons win the comp. We'll simulate to the end of the year again. We have year 7, 8. We have 4 seasons left. Hopefully we can pick something up. As in the Four Nations, I believe it is... Wow, 0-3 Australia went. 0-3. Hopefully Cage is seeing an increase in some of his stats. He isn't. He is just consistent all the time. Damien Cook retires. Walker retires. Jack Littlejohn retires. Jerome Lua's off to the Eels. Wow. This just gets insane the further you go in. Anyway, let's see how well Brad Cage does in season number 7. So Brad back in the finals and back in the top 4. He's re-signed till the end of 2026, meaning Cage is going to be a one-club player. That's great to see. No Dally M awards in sight though. Anyway, we'll sim to the end of the season. Look, he's going to be a player who didn't really have the best individual success, but has had a lot of team success. But we'll check how he went. We win another grand final, 2 premierships for Brad Cage, no Clive Churchill medal. We did lose the Anzac Test. We lose another Origin Series. So we're actually losing Origin Series. I think we're 3-4 in the Four Nations. We get another international trophy. So he's just getting a lot of success. DCE retires, the GOAT that we're trying to dethrone. But it's time to get into season number 8. We finally put back-to-back finals appearances together. We finished 2nd, getting our title defense. Still nothing in the Dally M race. Disappointing. I thought he would win Dally M's like they're going out of stock, but nothing yet. Simulate to the end of the year. And it looks like we got bounced out in the prelims. Roosters went on to defeat Manly in the grand final. We lose yet another Anzac Test. We lose yet another State of Origin Series. And in the Four Nations, we lose to England. Wow. Wow. No silverware this year. Tommy Turbo's off to the Roosters. Ponga returns home to the Cowboys. Kiri retires. Junior Paulo's retired. Reece Walsh has retired. Wow, he had a very short career. It's time to get into the second final season. Brad Cage, can he bring a 3rd premiership to the West Tigers? Well, this isn't where we want to be, but we avoid the wooden spoon and Brad Cage is in the worst form of his career. But thank God we didn't pick up a wooden spoon. No surprise that in a wooden spoon season we're nowhere near the Dally M Awards again. Did he even play Origin this year? Did he? Yes, he did. And we bring an Origin Shield back home. So, look. Oh, it's been such a weird career, hasn't it? We tried to make him the GOAT, and it just hasn't happened. Brad Cage is going to go without winning a World Cup. That is a madness how Australia have not won a World Cup. Anyway, it's time to get into the final season. Let's see how Brad Cage does in his 10th and final season, and we'll give a verdict on what his legacy is going to be, because I don't think he's going to be the GOAT. But if he can bring a final premiership to the Tigers, that certainly will make him, well, he probably is already the best Tigers player ever, but at least put him in the conversation for a GOAT. At the moment, I think a Hall of Fame career is unquestioned, but he needs to do a bit in this final season to be remembered as an Immortal. Brad Cage's final game. The Tigers cannot make the top 8. Oh, yes, they can. All right. Brad Cage has played his final game for the West Tigers in this 10-year scenario. That is it. He has re-signed, but we're only doing 10 years because I don't want to be here all night. They finished 9th. They missed out on the finals. And for Cage, well, he did get dropped from Origin this year. He goes a career without a Dally M. That is disappointing. Newcastle win the premiership. And that is it for Brad Cage in his career. He won about 4 or 5 Origin series, picked up only like 3 international trophies. Australia went through a tough period in this 10 years. Didn't even win a World Cup. Played in 3 grand finals. Won 2 premierships. He's played 357 total first grade rugby league games. That includes everything. Over 20,000 metres. 88 tries, 42 try assists. Wasn't a big distributor of the ball, but the tackle breaks and the line breaks are the main story. He had more than 1 tackle break and more than 1 line break a game. So he was definitely a natural runner of the football. Kicked some few conversions in his career, even snagged a few field goals. But that is it. Brad Cage's career comes to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, in the end, he won about 4 Origin series, only 2 international trophies. He won 2 premierships, played in 3 grand finals total. I think he goes into the Hall of Fame. I don't know if he can be classified as even an Immortal, let alone the GOAT. So this was pretty disappointing. I expected with a 99 overall in every single aspect to just dominate the league, but unfortunately he didn't. But guys, let me know if you enjoyed. This was a long video. So please, let's hit 30 likes again. It would mean a great deal to me. And subscribe if you are new. You can always change your mind later. So many more ideas that we're going to do in the off-season with this game. We probably will see Brad Cage in the future. But for now, unfortunately, for our 99 overall man for the West Tigers, his career ends after 10 seasons. Thank God I didn't delete my Sharks file. Guys, let's hit 30 likes. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys in the next one. And let me know, do you think Brad Cage is an Immortal or if he's just a Hall of Famer?